Welcome to a video from thedigital.com, new build of Windows 11 to look at. This is build 22499 for Windows Insiders on the dev channel, and a couple of new features on here which I can show you, and there's the usual fixes. So the first one I couldn't actually show you last week is now here, and that's the ability to mute and unmute Teams calls from a dedicated button. So let me just fire up a call, and I can show you that and another new feature. So here you can see the feature that was introduced last week. That's the mute unmute button for Teams. Only works with Teams, but the idea of this is even a call, you can just toggle your mute unmute on there. Hopefully Microsoft will make that work with other systems, but as you see, it works on there. Now the other new feature is you can actually share a window. You can see that there at the bottom. I've got the share window, so this automatically shares that window in a Teams call. So but in the past you would go into the share option and find it and share the screen. Now you can just choose which window, and it works on any of the windows you can share that are currently open. So even with Teams with two windows open, you can see you can do that as well. So that's the new feature with Teams. So the rest of the changes are all fairly minor. So when you do Alt-Tab, it's easier to see the visual focus. You can see the white line around there. So that's one change to it. Another change is the clock app. You can sign in using your Microsoft, your work or your school accounts now, not just your Microsoft account, so that you can use it with all the integration for focus sessions, with to do and that kind of thing. So the rest of the changes are fairly minor. They've fixed some clipboard history issues. We can do Windows V. They've fixed some issues with that. They've updated the backend for languages, and they've fixed some crashing when using the touch keyboard. And they fixed a settings issue where it would crash as well. And they've also fixed some blue screens or green screens with system thread exception not handled. There's still some known issues with this build, getting less now actually. You could have an error saying if trying to install a flight sign to continue to enable flight signing, but that's if you go from a certain build to a certain build. So if you have to go from 2200 or earlier, I haven't seen that issue, but there is a fix for that. If you see that on the blog on thedigital.com, they're looking at some issues where you may get a blue screen and a reboot, and also an error code when you're installing the build. I didn't see any errors when I installed this build today. There might be some issues with Start where it doesn't open properly, and you can use Windows key and R for Windows to run. And that's been on there for ages, that note. And taskbar will sometimes flicker. I haven't seen that one either. And there's a couple of search issues, but so that's it really. There's not a huge amount of issues, but a couple of new features in there. So that's build 22499 for Windows Insiders on the dev channel, and you can find me on thedigital.com at iStixon on Twitter.